Hello everyone and welcome to Bevins Bricks. I'm Daryl, as most of you know, and for today's video I made a custom-made Ford Flex out of Lego. What it is, I have a friend of mine that I've known over 30 years anyway, probably actually longer than that. We've been friends since high school anyway. But he had saw a picture of a Ford Flex online made out of Lego, and he's a huge car buff, and that's what he owns and drives is a Ford Flex. So he asked me if I could make one for him. So without further ado, this is what I ended up making up for him. And if this interests you, stick around because I'm going to show you all the details coming up. Now, the first thing I want to say is the actual main structure of this isn't of my personal design. What it was is my buddy saw the picture online and he sent me the picture that he had found, and I worked off of that. Now again, here's the pictures my buddy sent me. He just really wanted me to make something that looked just like it, and I told him I could make an identical build like this, but I wanted to add some of my own unique tweaks to it, and he told me to go for it. So without further ado, this is what I actually came up with. Now, I want to point one thing out, is that these rims and tires that you see on this particular build, I do not intend on keeping. I do not like them. What it is I don't have the actual rims and tires I want to use on it, so I just went ahead just to show him what I came up with and put those on there as a rough up. Now, one of the many things that I did, like I said, I tried to keep with the original design that the original builder made as much as possible anyway, and then put in a few of my unique tweaks. One of the first tweaks is I put on windshield wipers. The second thing is, looking at the front of the car, the original build actually shows kind of a little Ford logo here in the center of the grill here, and my buddies and all the other Ford Flexes I've actually looked at do not have the Ford emblem here. It just has the 3 bars, so that's why I went ahead and used the grill pieces. And then there's a small piece of chrome at the bottom as well, between the running lights. So again, I was trying to focus fully on trying to make it as unique as possible and as realistic as possible to my friend's car. The other thing that I did is I didn't like how the original build had on the glass here for the front headlights, they had a brick sticking out on both sides. As to me, that's kind of too harsh, I guess, of an angle, and the actual cars actually have somewhat of a sloped headlight, so I went ahead and changed that out as well. And then another thing that I actually added that I thought was a really unique touch is all the Ford Flexes that I've seen have a dual exhaust system. So what I did is I opened up this particular opening here and I added the dual exhaust system with a license plate. Now, to show you how I actually kind of accomplished that, what that is these 2 Lego parts here held on by the modified plate with the clip on the side of it. So that gave me that unique touch to it. And then of course I had to add a license plate. But now that is not the only unique part or thing about this entire build, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Hidden inside here, and you might be able to see it on the camera, I'm trying to show it as much as possible. You can see that the interior of this car is not empty, and it's hiding a battery box. So what I did is I made it in the fashion that you can pop, and it's a little bit of a pain in the rear. Let's see if I can get her off. Now that I got it popped out, I have to take the rear window out as well, but then I can take and flip my little battery box switch to turn the lights off, and you can see now that the tail lights and the headlights and the turn signals all light up, which I thought gave this a really, really cool and unique touch. I'm actually so happy with the outcome of this particular build that I think I'm going to end up making 1 or 2 of these in this, well, probably not in the same color, but in different colors, just to place around my city and add to some of the detail as far as the lighting and such, because I just think that would be such a unique and cool touch for a city, to have your city streets filled with cars, and cars not only that look cool, but that are actually illuminated when you turn the lights off. Now some of you might be asking also, how is it that I'm able to light those up? And I will probably make a video to show you how I kind of came up with this technique. But the first thing I want to point out to you, actually if you're a longtime viewer, you will already know it. If you will go back, and I'm going to put a link to that video right above here if you're looking. I'll have the link right up here at some point. But anyway, if you go to that video and watch it, that's my Pizza Hut mock. And in my Pizza Hut mock, what I did is I went to the dollar store, and they sell these really inexpensive light kits. And I'll even show you right here, this is the lights that actually come in that light kit. Now mind you, the light kit comes with, I think it's 12 lights in total, but I only needed 4, one for each corner of the car. And I cut out the extra lighting, put everything in there, tucked the wiring inside of it, and now you have what you see here in front of you. Now building that has actually got me very excited to get started on building some of my very own car mocks, as I do want to fill up my city streets with as many cars as possible. So while I'm waiting on parts, as I always am, I'm probably going to start working on a few different car mocks, so expect to see some of those types of videos coming up soon. Now, one of the concerns I can tell you with my car mocks that I intend on doing is typically when you look at an actual car, and that's what I'm trying to do, is make mine look as realistic as possible. A car never really comes ever above your neck level when you're standing next to it, at least for me anyway, unless you're next to a truck. Now, a truck is typically above my head. So my primary focus is all my cars, I'm probably going to make either 5 and 6 bricks wide, or studs wide, excuse me. And I'm probably going to keep them at the minifig height of around their head, because a lot of the car mocks that I see, including the one that I just showed you in this video. Now mind you, that's a Ford Flex, so it's a little bit of a taller vehicle, so it's slightly different, but most car mocks are way bigger than the actual minifigs, and to me that kind of messes with the scale, and I want everything to look as correct and to scale as possible as I'm putting it in my city. So anyway, as always, thank you for coming to Bevins Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below, and we'll see you next time on Bevins Bricks.